Hello, I'm Marina, a client of Max. I came to him with a problem. I used to be very depressed. I had severe depression, and I was aggressive verbally to people and always arguing with everyone. And then I started to withdraw from people and from life. I was addicted to playing games, strategy games, and I withdrew totally and just lived through these games. I actually kind of committed suicide without really doing it. I didn't realize that it was worse at a certain time of month, but after my conversation with Max, I could identify with PMDD. He explained it very thoroughly to me, and I googled it as well and read up about it. It is pretty new, and I didn't know that I had PMDD. So that is the issue that we worked on. How did it influence the people in my life? Because of my verbal aggression and me just withdrawing from everyone socially, even my husband and my kids. It was not nice. We had a very silent, quiet life. Unless I was really so agitated, and I would argue and become extremely angry for little things. It was not good, not for me, not for anyone around me. What was the worst that happened when you decided enough is enough? Lockdown actually happened. COVID-19 struck, and we were all forced inside one house to live together, and I couldn't cope with that. It was just too much. My husband had narcissistic traits, so he had these very strict beliefs about a woman's place and a man's place, and what I have to do and what he has to do. And my beliefs were very different, and it didn't work out. I decided that enough is enough. I have to get a divorce. I have to get out of that situation where I was controlled and never good enough, and whatever I do, I was never good enough in his eyes. So I had to make a decision, and he gave me the ultimatum of going away and get myself together again and come back. And then I decided I'm going to do that. I contacted a clinical psychologist. I was admitted to a mental health clinic for 3 weeks. We did intensive therapy. It did work. It did help me to make a decision to divorce, and it was not easy at all, because making that decision after 12 years, it was my comfort zone. I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything to fall back on. I didn't really have a support network, because my family and friends, everyone believed that my husband was this great person, and he is a great person, but it was not towards me. I was his punch bag and his marionette that he had to control 24/7, otherwise he was just not happy. And that made me miserable, and I had to get out of there. So what have you done so far to resolve these issues? Like I said, I contacted a clinical psychiatrist. psychologist and a psychiatrist. I worked with them both. We did the traditional way of psychology, therapy, and also some alternative therapies. It worked, but it took time. I had to go back and back and back for many more sessions, but because of the distance between our cities, I just can't do it anymore. So yeah, I kind of like fell back in my old ways. Okay, so since I was in the clinic, I started to look on the internet for ways to help myself, because I realized that nobody else is going to help me. I need to do it myself. And I came across Mind Valley. I started the Life Book course with them. That was awesome. That really gave me a lot of new perspectives and new things to think about, what I really want my life to look like, and what I want, what I want to do with my life. That was my main question for very long. What is my way forward? And yes, I came across Marisa Peer on Mind Valley. She did a masterclass on RTT, and I was so impressed. I had to find out more, and I googled and I searched, and I was really, really impressed with what she accomplished in her career, and by doing RTT, how much she could change and help people, and that was just awesome. And I knew I had to do that too. I had to get involved with RTT. I don't have any psychologically background or education, but I think with all that I've went through my life, with all my childhood trauma and everything, I could resonate with a lot of people out there and help. So yeah, RTT was definitely a way forward for me. Were there any doubts before your decision of choosing RTT? No, once I've read a lot about RTT and I quickly understood that this was for me. I had no doubts about doing this. RTT would help me. I believe it's still going to help me with my issues. What does it feel like to be in a session? Okay, I had a Zoom meeting with Max. He was very calm and confident and relaxed, and that actually influenced me as well. It made me calm, and because I was in my own environment, I felt safe and relaxed, and I could talk to him. So when he put me in hypnosis, I was still aware of everything around me. I was still in control, and I felt safe. So when he took me back in the scenes, and I felt comfortable talking to him about it, my feelings and everything that came up during the session. What really helped me, I think, is when I could actually express myself towards the hurter. That helped a lot because I had a lot of bottled up emotions inside me that I needed to verbalize and just get like an outlet for it. And then afterwards I felt a lot better, It was good to look from another perspective towards what happened in the past. That helped a lot because I'm a grown-up now, I'm not a kid anymore. And that switch of perspective also helped a lot. Okay, after the session I was drained, I was tired, and I had to go and lie down for a nap. I took a long nap, like 3 hours I think. But yeah, my body released so much emotion and stuff, so it had to use time to restore itself. But when I woke up, I felt much better. I had a new peace and calm inside me that I didn't have before. And yeah, I've been listening to Max's audio every night, except one night. There was one night I skipped. But just reinforcing everything every night, I do feel more worthy, and I'm not as I don't doubt myself so much anymore. I feel more capable of actually achieving my goals. I do have to work on that a little more, but it's actually better now. I've actually started doing some of the things that I couldn't get to before. So there's definitely a very huge improvement in my self-image, how I see myself. How long has it been? It's been 44 days now. I had to go and check the date and the time. So yeah, I've been listening to the audio for 43 days. So I think I actually know it word by word by now. Yeah, it's just something I would like to mention is the word enough. Maybe we should try to get similar words to describe the feeling of I'm enough. Because in my home language, Afrikaans, we don't have that saying, so it doesn't have the same impact to me that it would have on someone else. So maybe to have something like, you are capable, you are awesome, you can do this, you are able to, things like that would have maybe more of an impact than just the phrase you're enough. It did help, definitely, but I think I need that a little bit more. Yeah. How has the session affected me? I am calmer inside. I had made some peace with my past. I'm definitely calmer as a person. I don't have as many outbursts and anger inside me as I used to have. That is definitely much better. Yeah, I would recommend a session like this for every single little issue in your life. Because I don't think you can heal everything at once. That's just not possible. You have to focus on one specific issue and address that and make that better. And then afterwards, when you see the reaction and what comes up, because doing a session, it actually scratches open some things that was really buried deep inside, and now it comes to the surface, and it's new things that you need to deal with. Because afterwards there was sometimes that I had a very uncomfortable feeling that I still can't forgive, even though I have a different perception. I still struggle to forgive. So I think that might be good to just revisit that. What would I say to people watching this video? I would recommend RTT to anyone in this world. There's definitely a huge advantage to put yourself out there, make yourself vulnerable, and just get in contact with your subconscious and whatever it brings up, and to deal with it. You have to be brave to deal with it, because most of the time I think it's issues that we have buried so deep inside that we didn't want to acknowledge it, we didn't want to look at it ever again. But for healing to take place, we need to be brave enough to face that. And yeah, I really wish you all good luck, and do it, just do it.